probablement.
Talking about those good things come to those who wait, come to those who wait. You know I love you so. I'll never, never let you go. Oh, come
I played once against him, and then I was a friendly match against with Feyenoord, with Cruyff against him. He's a very great player. It is a pity that I didn't see him on the continent. Of course, he only played there, in Scotland, and he was, for me, one of the greatest players that I ever seen, and I wish him a good year.
Heroes everyone, the Scots play the game of their lives. Cool and confident, they show superb ball control, none better than Willie Waddle, number 7. The wily Glasgow Ranger has England defenders running in circles, and with Jimmy Mason, number 8, forms a forceful right wing. Only a desperate tackle stops Mason here. It's Waddle again. What a winger, what a joy to watch. A beautiful centre, and Riley heads goal number 3.
Hello and welcome to the Gers TV. A wee bit earlier than usual tonight, just due to the fact that we've got some calls to make in Australia, and loads of other things to chat about, like what happened this week. My name's Si, it's the Gers TV, and this is Sandra.
I'm Sandra, glad you could join us, guys.
I'm quickly going to send a text. Right guys, we've got the last week of the ban, so what we need is a wee bit of help fees again.
Please share for us,
We need
guys.
to share because we can't manually share it to after the show. I was sending a text just as I was starting there.
So please share for us. This is our last week, and then it's up. If you're sending us in something on the feed, go and put your name on it, guys. Because if you're on Facebook, we can't tell the name. It just says Facebook user.
So that one says hi Si, hi Sandra. I
That
think
was Paul Sargent. Hello, Paul Sargent. Graham Garvin, Linda Ford, Sarah Wallace. Hello, Sarah.
hi Sarah.
Who else have I got? Wait, no, I see. Colin Morrison. Hello, Boffy. Hope you're feeling better.
They're just not going to jail. They're going to get a
Margot
tin
Watson.
pill.
Glad you all could join us, guys. So if you're if you're using Facebook and you're leaving a wee message on the feed, leave your name. Hello, guys. How we doing? And that was Stuart Mackay, because I can see on my phone.
Brilliant. Guys, it was International Week, so there wasn't a lot to talk about football-wise. The only big story, if anybody wants to chat about it later, is the COVID-6, as they're calling them. Was it COVID-5?
COVID-5.
COVID-5, isn't it? I'm saying 6. But basically the young boys have got a 6-game ban, that's what it was. And I'll take them up to the end of the season. It's not a big story to me. Doesn't really surprise me, and I don't think it was going to change. If they were going to get banned with Rangers at one point anyway, I think, for behaviour, so I don't think it's majorly controversial.
Sorry, I was the John Kiernan. Hello, John. Sorry, I forgot about you.
We're going to be making a call in a wee minute. We're going to speak to John Simon in Melbourne, Australia, regarding the boat trip that took place last week. We're trying to get an interview with Stuart Monroe. It might not be the night, but if not the night, it'll be next week or through the week. But Stuart Monroe's going to be on the show as well, so it might take us a bit exclusive through the week. Before we start in, what have we got? We've got loads of things for sale last week just for funds.
There we go. The trophy. There's the trophy, guys.
They're light, but they're thick.
Yes. And we
Hundreds of
have
them have been
these
sold.
55s, the small
I'm
ones.
going to show this because it's really good graphic. Look at the thickness of it, right? So it's light, but it's a good thick plastic. It's got Ibrox as well on it. So people might be interested in them. It's just a wee fundraiser that we've got the opportunity of doing for the next couple of weeks, so we might as well. Now and then get this right before the light on it.
Yeah, that's you.
Well
done, well done.
No touch after that.
Hey Sandra, you're looking great. Who was that? Linda Ford. I hope you're feeling better, Linda. Hope you're feeling a lot better. Hello there, Mark Dunnett. How are you doing?
Hi, Mark. Right, going to start it off. I'm going to get the first call. I'm going to give John a quick call from Australia. Hopefully this works, because anytime we phone Australia it seems to be an issue, but I think I'm confident it'll work. More due to the fact I've done a wee trial call last night to make sure it would work. Melbourne, let's try this out.
There we go.
Don't know if I need to put the volume on, I'm trying to remember.
You have chosen an invalid number.
Oh, right. 2 seconds, right.
It's 00 0016.
You need to put a +61.
00.
Hold on, I've got 2, maybe that's... See that there? That's it.
No, it's 0061.
Hold on, try that. I done it last night. That's the same.
I only know because when I phoned that,
Did it work?
I done the 00 because you're calling.
Right.
Aye.
So when I done it last night, what I done was... You could be right. So...
00.
how to do that then? I think there's a pad, right. So you need to remember the number though. Right, so here's the number. Copy and paste it first, right? Can't do that. So it's John's number, but right, so you just take it the one. I thought you took it the one.
No.
Aye, that's what you do. You take it the one.
No, you
Aye,
don't.
honestly, that works. Watch this.
Right, go. That's not what you do, but.
Right, hold on a minute. You talk for a minute, right, to the people.
Right, so what we know, 610.
Right, so what's the number? This worked last night, but I had to take out
do
the
that
6.
again till I see.
Right, this worked last night. I phoned John last night, but I had to take out the 0. But I thought I'd done it again. So.
Right, try that
Right,
with a 00 in front of it.
Right, so what am I trying?
Right here.
Right,
Yeah.
just tell me. 6-1.
I don't want to say it out loud.
Oh,
So
right,
the pocket's
it's
dumper.
Australian anyway, innit?
Did you do 00?
No. Right, that's what I'm saying to you, right. So you're saying it that way, right?
Right. 6-1.
Right. So you're saying that'll work?
Yeah.
I don't think that'll work. No, see, I took. Right, so the way I done it last night was this way, right?
I done 00 for that call. I done.
Right, so you did that plus 661. Can you get?
Sorry about this, guys. There we go.
This didn't happen last night when I done it, honestly. So, oh, see, last night it's that number, but you take out the. See the 1, right? So give me that number again, but take out the 1, right? That one, yeah. So that
Right,
one.
you want that one again?
Aye,
There
but
it's
so you take out the 1, so it's 6-1. You don't do a plus on it? No.
No, I don't
Right,
know.
So. Right, I think you do a plus, but.
I don't know. I just know if you're dialing abroad, either America or it's 00.
Is that ringing? That's a French line. Right, hold on, let me try something
Never
up here.
fails,
Right,
guys.
let me try something up here for a minute.
Right, let me see how we go. Billy Johnson, how you doing? Linda Ford, Paul Sargent. Linda says she's getting better, stronger every day. Lucky to be here, thank you. You're welcome. Joel Jackson, how much is the 55 picture and the trophy? Joel Jackson, just message the page and I'll get back to you. Hey people, Jamie Small, how you doing? We are the people 55. Who else? We got Geelong, John Kiernan, RFC 55, how you all doing? Damn Aussies.
Right. What it's been doing is trying to copy the number that I'm putting in, right?
Paul Boyle, Belfast, how you doing? Glad you could join us. So did you put the plus on? Yes.
Aye.
Very good. Very good.
This will work.
Right. Who have we got?
That number there is the one that should
How
work.
are you doing, Buffy? You alright? Stuart Mackay, how you doing? Graham Garvin? David Downey, how you doing?
There you go.
There you go, that's us.
It's called you can't hit a plus unless you're at a computer. John's probably watching this.
My trophy's at the window. Well done, John.
Aye, John got one last week. It's at 6 o'clock in the morning over in Australia now, so hopefully we get.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Good morning, sir. How you going, pal?
Morning. It's myself, Sandra. You're live on Gers TV, mate. I'm sorry about the time, but we're not making do about it. How's things?
I'm very good, mate. Yourself?
Brilliant. How can you hear us all right? Okay.
It's not too bad. How can you hear me? Because my
Yeah,
voice is
you're
a bit
good.
still croaky through the weekend singing.
Aye. So John, just exactly what I'm calling for. The Melbourne Loyal Rangers Supporters Club had a boat going down the city on the going down the city celebrating 55. Is that right?
Yarra River.
Yarra River.
Look, Si, we got together on Saturday and there was about 100 of us. COVID restrictions, or there would have been more, but there was 100 of us on a party boat for 3 hours, drinking, eating, singing. That was good fun. It was good to get us all together and celebrate the 55th title, yeah.
Yeah. And it was your special guest was we there, Stuart Monroe.
Look, Stuart was there again. He never lets us down. He's turned up at most events that we've had with the club. last year, 2020, we had the Orsa convention. He was there just at Christmas time at the 50th anniversary of the Everest disaster, and Stuart come along to that as well and played part of the ceremony and the memorial service. So no, he comes along to most events with the Rangers Supporters Club here in Melbourne.
Aye.
Good.
And so how did it go? I take it was all fun and games, no problems. But you didn't have Nicola Sturgeon to worry about or anything.
Oh, look, we've had the troubles over here with state premiers and politicians, mate. It's not all been ice cream and jelly, as they say. But look, we had a great time on Saturday. There was no dramas. Everybody enjoyed themselves with blokes for Sydney, Newcastle come down. So look, we all got together and we had a right good time. You know, we kicked on later on that night, went to a couple of pubs in the city centre, and yeah, that was a really good time. Yeah.
Good.
Excellent. So basically it was a boat around the Yarra, you called
Yarra River.
it? Yarra River, and then it was a sash bash bevy afterwards.
Aye, we kicked on, we booked out a pub in the city centre, and yeah, we put that place up there, and it was good fun. Yeah, we partied on to the wee hours in the morning, and let everybody know that
Yarra people.
the Rangers were in town, so to speak.
And for anybody, John, for anybody that's not seen the videos or the photographs, I was trying to take the videos off Facebook, you wouldn't let me do it. For anybody who's want to watch the videos or any of the party, you can see it on the Melbourne Loyal Rangers Supporters Club Facebook page.
It's on the Melbourne City Loyal Facebook
Melbourne City.
page. There's plenty. The boys have been uploading and downloading and putting plenty of videos on the Rangers page. Also, the club. There's two clubs here in Melbourne side. There's the Melbourne Rangers Supporters Club. I've been here since the early 80s.
Right.
And there's obviously the Melbourne City Loyal. So together we've got a joint venture. On Saturday there'll be an aeroplane leaving Frankston Pier, and I'll be towing a banner, Rangers 55 titles, all around Victoria, all around Port Phillip Bay for 3 hours. So if they couldn't see us, they'll be seeing us there on Saturday. So the aeroplane will be on the sky for 3.5 hours, flying all around Melbourne and all around the Bayside, Victoria.
So you'll upload the videos anyway.
That'll be on video as well.
Yeah, good.
Over to you.
Brilliant. I tell you, what is it you've got? Is it just expats and that, or have you got a lot of Australian members? What's the deal
Oh,
there?
look, there's definitely a wide range. I mean, we've got, obviously, the majority of the boys are expats, all British, Irish, Welsh. But there's a few Australians, first, second generation Australians in the club. So, it's certainly a good mixed bag. We've got over 100 members in the Melbourne City Loyal. I'm not sure how many the other club have, probably up around about 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Right.
They're a bit far out of the CBD. We're in the city centre, so the other club's probably about an hour southeast.
I remember
city
some.
centre, so
I remember one of my pals going to it.
areas.
One of my pals years ago told me he was going to it. He said it's about an hour and a half drive. Is that right?
Oh look, if you're going to go on the train, it's every station that stops in. It'll take about an hour, just over an hour on the train. You get to Frankston, and then you're probably going to get sort of taxi for the train station to the club, like. But yeah, they've been established a long time. They're probably the oldest club in Australia, in Melbourne. But again, it's not really user friendly for the blokes who, we use a lot of backpackers and stuff, so they're all in the CBD, so they come to your club, and
Because you're easy to get to.
it's
So,
a great event.
so John, the next one I believe that you're not involved in, but it's you're taking part as some of you guys have got to Sydney. Is that right?
Look, the Sydney boys they're having their boat trip on the 24th of April.
For ignorant guys like myself, how far away is that?
I'm sorry?
For ignorant people like myself, how far?
You'd be flying there. It's probably about equivalent from Glasgow to London. Just on an hour's flight.
Are you going to that?
Sorry?
Are you going to go to that? As in, some of your members are going, aren't they?
Oh, look, there's about half a dozen boys for the Melbourne City Loyal going to be going up. Unfortunately, I can't make it. I think there's about half a dozen blokes from our club going, and obviously nobody from Queensland can go because they're in COVID restrictions at the moment, but there'll be other blokes from other states going.
Yeah.
Very good.
I just looking if there's any questions on it. Just a quick one for you, John. Just obviously, if you don't only the Rangers over here as the song goes, if anybody that's watching or watches through the week and when we ever get back out of lockdown, we'll get back to normality. If people want to come and visit you or join the club, how do they go about that?
Well, look, the easiest way to go about it is contact us through the Facebook page. Then all the details are on there, like email addresses for Derek Warrington, the secretary, or Glenn Marrow, the president.
Yeah.
So there's certainly easy ways of contacting the club.
Have you? I'm assuming you've got.
Yeah, it's never a
You'll
bad
have
way
a.
to get in touch with us.
Do you have a lot of the games on the big screen then when you are allowed?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we host our events in a sports bar on Elizabeth Street, and it's the hall caters for 170 blokes. It's got TV screens all over the shop, so
Very good.
yeah, it's well catered for.
Good.
Aye, sounds great. No, that's great. Thanks a lot, mate. I appreciate your call.
Thanks for getting up early for us.
What time is it in Australia just now, Melbourne?
I'm actually on my way to work. It's 6:15 in the morning.
My
so,
goodness.
I've just pulled up at the side of the road having this conversation with you.
Aye, no, much appreciated. Hopefully get another one day. I was hoping to get for the Orsa, but I don't know when that's going to take place due to restrictions again. I'm booked up for Vegas.
Unfortunately, the Orsa this year got cancelled. It was meant to be in Adelaide.
Yeah.
But hopefully next year we can host it. It's going to be in Sydney, so
Yeah.
That'd be great.
we might see
Fantastic.
you guys down here for that.
Definitely.
Definitely. Well, I booked up for Vegas next year. Just booked it last week, but for the NASA, but I quite fancy that as well because it would be something. Sydney would be a great place to visit.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, funny you should say that. That's a bit of a work in progress for a couple of our lads as well. We're looking into it as well, so
Vegas.
we maybe cross paths in
Right.
Vegas side.
Yeah. No,
Very
listen,
good.
all the best. Keep in touch with us, mate. And thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Good speaking to you.
Yeah, no bother, guys. Like, take care of yourselves, eh?
You too. Bye.
Right. Thank you very much, John.
Okay, guys.
Right,
Cheers.
Bye. Bye.
See you side. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. That's
Bye-bye.
John Simon from the Melbourne City Rangers Supporters Club. It just shows you it's not just supporters around the world, but it's supporters that are hosting events, boat trips, planes. There's more boat trips. There's going to be barbecues.
Sorry guys, I need to check my phone because this
You're
is not
probably
telling
getting.
me.
I was going to say there's not a lot of messages on the
I
screen
know,
here.
I've got Alice Stewart McCracken from Belfast, how you doing? Derek Warrington, he was telling you to try the +6.
Aye,
What your number?
Derek Warrington, who you mentioned. Derek's the president, I think, of the club.
Yeah. Gary Lanigan, hello, how you doing?
Aye, Gary.
That's your power it.
Aye.
Stuart Mackay, aye, brand new guys, I'm ready for phone in the open reach for you too. Graham Wright, Alex McCallum, Billy Johnson, Robbie Ferguson, hello Robbie.
Aye, Robbie.
And Mark Dunnett, I can't wait to go to Lounge 72 when it opens.
Before I forget, because I meant to send Robbie a text message. Robbie, last week, somebody phoned in looking for him.
Yes, it was Carol for...
Carol for the Gallagate. Robbie,
Yes.
a guy for the Gallagate that knew you maybe 20, 30 years ago. He stays in England now.
Yes, that's right.
And he was phoning up to just to send his best wishes to you. He does see you when he's up in Duke Street now and again, but he's not been up for a long time, he said. He was asking
Hello
for you.
Andrew Bluebells, how you doing? John Kiernan, any brand, looking for t-shirts with 55, anybody know where to get them? The only ones I've got was for Bearsden.
The one I've got to know is Sons of Struth.
Sons of
I'll
Struth,
try and show you. Sons of Struth sent me this one. It's G51, that's the Rangers postcode, and it's the Rangers 55 titles on it. It's hard to read it upside down. 55 titles are still going strong on it.
Yes.
He sent us that. It's a polo night, but they've got the Sons of Struth have got a full new.
Sponge.
They've got, what do you call that? A full catalogue of stuff. You got the thing with the. Did you get the
No.
tracksuit?
Have I got it?
Aye, you're waiting on it. It's coming.
Aye, I've got it now. No,
Aye.
aye.
So you're getting the tracksuit.
Aye.
And they've got ladies wear, kids wear, and all that stuff, I believe. So have a wee look. That's one place to buy. There's loads of people doing 55
Good talk,
t-shirts.
that's aye. I've got loads for the Sons of Struth.
Aye.
Who was that? I don't know who wrote that. Elvis, hello Elvis, how you
Aye,
doing?
Elvis. A quick one whilst I've got him on. Gary Lanigan. Gary, I don't know if you'll know a bit more about this than I do, but Ginger Abramovich is in Facebook, Big Bill, my big mate. He texted us last week regarding Northern Irish fans have been fined for putting flags up. There's a wee campaign to try and get some money back for them. I think it was a couple of £1,000 or maybe more. I don't think it was 10 grand, but I think it was
But
a
they
bit.
were fined for
They were
putting
fined for putting the flags up in Belfast and for the 55, and they're trying to get the money back if they can, if any Rangers supporters want to help out. So if Gary's still watching, if you send me a link to that, if you know anything about it, you'll probably know about it. I think it was East Belfast, but I might be wrong. But there was a street in Belfast where the boys who put the flags up got fined. They're trying to get money back.
It's a first start, is it no?
Well, it is just, but it's our culture again. Our people seem to get the brunt of it. It's no good. If anybody, if it's no Gary, it's got it. Ginger Abramovich, Big Bill, he might have it and put it up the link, and we'll put it on for you and see if we can get a wee bit of support for the Rangers supporters in Northern Ireland.
Yep. Hello, Joe Wiley, how you doing?
I need to put Joe's song up. Joe done a song there. Who are you kidding, Mr. Lennon? No, was it no Joe? Joe Fox had done that. So I get a different guy. Different guy. Joe Fox had done that. No, because I met the day about 3 weeks
I've
ago.
seen that the guy that done the one. Look what they've done to our tent. He's done another one.
I know, but the
It's
last time
magic.
I'll need to check it. I didn't know it, but the last one I put on at high speed, so he was on like a rave. I was messing about. I was messing about, and I was like.
So it was. I know his daughter put up another one, and it's Hey Magic. He sang Hey It's Magic.
I'll need to watch that. Then I'll watch it after the show. And we'll put the link up for it. Any of that kind of stuff, guys. Anybody's putting any Rangers videos out or anything, we can support. Put them up. I'm going to phone Mark Dingo in a wee minute. He's going to give us a wee update on any Rangers news that we missed out on tonight.
Right, does anybody know anything about the £40 that was took out Gers TV? Somebody's been texting me about it, guys. You just to find
It's
it.
I think it's my Gers came out today.
My Gers.
A few people
£40.
on Facebook have commented that £40 came out for Rangers. I'm sure it's my Gers, but if I'm wrong, if you can let us know.
It's nothing to do with the season tickets.
No, it's definitely I'm sure it's my Gers. Somebody will correct us on it.
Gers.
Right, I'll give my big Mark a quick phone and we'll get a chat with him.
Hello, Scott White from Inverness. How you doing?
Right, I'm gonna get that.
Dun, 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 dun.
There we go. First time. See, I don't know how to work it.
Hello.
Hi Mark, how you doing?
Fine, mate, fine.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Very well.
So it's Big Mark Dingwall from Follow, and he's on live.
There we go. Joining us on the sofa.
You see what I've done here? Watch this. We're done.
There we go. There you go.
There
There
you
he
are.
is.
You're actually on the show a graphic. It's all happening now. Mark, so just how's things what's happening with and the updates with Rangers tonight? Is there anything we've missed?
I'm not particularly sure. I mean, I think people are trying to compare, the length of ban what Ball and Golly got or previous people have got. But I think that's kind of barking up the wrong tree. Now, there may be rules, there may be parameters, but the problem is they were told beforehand.
Yep.
They've seen what went before them. And the other thing which I don't think it's actually been discussed much, if at all, in most of the forums or Facebook pages I look at is, so you've got these 5 guys guilty of this. Now, what's never really, because the series of events came so quickly, it was never really put under the microscope. What does this do to Stephen Gerrard? Because, he's laid the law down, he's put the other 2 guys on loan, got them at the door, and then there's 5 of them come together to conspire to have a party. Now, I believe that, I'm not 100% in the details, but I believe that Zungu took up a present or whatever, but he didn't. He wasn't actually on the bruisathon.
Okay.
But the point is, they've all been told, don't do this. Not a case of everybody else isn't to do it, but you can. They've all been told, don't do it, and they went ahead and done it anyway. So I think that's, that'd be a wee bit unsettling for Stephen Gerrard, that despite warning them, seeing the example of what happened before, they still went ahead and done it. How he handled it afterwards, I thought was quite clever, in that, got them in front of the cameras, made their apologies, blah blah blah, and then he actually started playing a couple of them. Now,
Right,
you can say that's because of he was forced to do it, but I think that was psychologically quite clever, which was, we're going to play the rules right up to the edge. So they're being charged, but we can still play them until they've been found guilty. But as I say, my major thing for us was I wasn't either expecting or looking for any favours from the authorities. My major point in this is, despite what happened with Emerson and Jordan Jones,
You still do it.
five of them went ahead and did what they did.
Yeah.
Aye, I don't think we can complain about the suspension that they've got for it. It's a 6-game suspension, so basically it takes them out to the end of the season.
I think there might be a chance, depending on how we progress in the
Scottish.
Cup, that we might actually see Zunga and Patterson again this season.
Yep.
Just going on the number of games to be played, I think we might see them, you know.
Aye.
But you know what? It's entirely avoidable, this, and I don't think that professional players are under that much more of a strain than we are. Obviously, they've got to form a bubble, blah blah blah. But you think the amount of money they're getting paid, plus the resources that the club's able to supply them with, how difficult is it really?
Aye, no, good point. Mark, another question I was going to ask you, just on your opinion on the game on Sunday, the half-6 kick-off, Rangers versus Cove Rangers. What's the reasoning behind that? They're slowly making it harder and harder for people to enjoy football, I think.
I think it all really comes down to the football and schedule. Now, Premier Sports is, let me think, I can't remember the exact details, but I think it's essentially the successor to Satanta.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And they've obviously bought the rights to these games, so they're making a full use of them. Now, I've got a wee app on my phone called Live Football on TV. And even before you started getting all these club TV channels, there was one weekend a couple of seasons ago where I actually told up that in the 2 days you could actually watch 26 games in British TV if you had Sky and BT. So I think it's basically just comes down to, we've got a slot on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday evening where there's no competition in the UK.
So let's put that on.
You know, we'll fill it with a Scottish game.
Yeah.
It's the Rangers game. I mean, to be honest, I think there's probably more competitive games that they could fill with it, but at the end of the day, Rangers sell. So, you know, we'll stick the Rangers game in there and get the audience.
I mean, from football point of view, right, obviously they're a part-time team, so they're the only players that have got to travel back home to the Glasgow direction, I'd imagine, and back at work at 4, maybe it's 5, 6 in the morning. However, it doesn't make sense to me why they want to do that, apart from the fact to make money. Is there a time, any kind of time scale where Rangers could turn around and say, but that's too late, we're not playing?
Well, you know what? I tend to think that people rather brighter than us have probably looked at these contracts. There won't be a way to wangle out it. And at the end of the day, you know, the money that's involved, then nobody's going to say boo to these contracts. You know, you know, if you look at the SFA, where, you know, they've been struggling along with a sponsor for this or a sponsor for that, or they've got the Scottish Cup sponsored by, you know, who essentially is a backhander for the government for a couple of years. So, you know, they're taking anything they can get.
Yeah.
You know, and when they did a few years ago, when they were pitching for the renewal of the Sky deal, now, I haven't seen, the Sky deal. I haven't seen the document, but I took the document that Price Waterhouse-Coopers put up to Sky included the information that in Scotland, somewhere around 51% of people are Rangers fans. Now, that's obviously open to interpretation. You know, is that people who go to games? Is that people who express an interest? Blah blah blah. How many people aren't interested in football? But that's the numbers. You know, so roughly 51% of people who've got an interest in football in Scotland support Rangers. So that means
some number.
If you look at how, you know, the number of times when we were having games televised and our way up through the leagues, which were the highest in Britain, that's telling you the drawing power that the club's got.
Yeah.
So hence why you're getting it at half past 6 now.
Essentially, it's all down to money then.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's that, innit? It's just the money, and money's not going to change.
No, well, I mean, I think there's so few good paying avenues that's the way it is, and I tend to think that especially as there's no gate money coming in. I mean, obviously we're a bit insulated for that because so many of our fans have ponied up for their season books. But all the other associated stuff, the hospitality, whatever, then there's been a lot of belt tightening. So I'm afraid that's the deal you make.
And obviously Rangers announced last week as well that they're getting ready to celebrate for the 150th anniversary of the club, so that's looking good that we're getting organised for that.
Well, I mean, it's something you and I have talked about for years until now, basically saying, we should have something along the lines of a People's 150 because we know that whatever they do, they're bound to screw it up. Now, that's no bad verdict on the people that they've got working inside Ibrox. The fact that they've actually got a logo ready, that they're prepared for it even before the end of this season. That's an improvement in what's gone before. My worry has always been that over the last 10 years, if Rangers can screw it up, they'll screw it up. That they've been dreadful at marking significant points in their history. So I'm glad that's been attended to. But I would still say that whether it's podcasts like yourselves or Facebook pages or supporters clubs, that we should all start to be thinking of.
Everybody should.
Do it. What events do we put on? What merchandise do we bring out that adds to this? To really make it a big thing. Because obviously this year we've stopped Celtic's 10 in a row. You could argue 9.75 in a row. And after all we've been through over the last 10 years, to get the club back in the road and where we are, it's been a fantastic achievement. Obviously they're in a wee bit of a crisis just now. I tend to think that the squad's a bit better than we give. We've had a right laugh and a joke at them this year, but I tend to think ultimately their squad's has underperformed.
Yeah, there's something seriously wrong, I think, over there, Mark.
Definitely.
Sorry?
Something seriously wrong over there.
Well, I mean, you're dealing with psychopaths. Obviously going to do something wrong. But as I say, I think if you look at it, it's 150 years since the club was founded. So all the good times, some of the bad times too, I think we should remember.
Yeah.
But the sheer joy of being Rangers fans and all the good stuff that it's done, then I certainly think we should be looking forward to making our points. I would say anybody that's got a thought, sometimes the maddest thoughts, the strangest ideas turn out to be the best ones. And I would say to people, don't hold back. You might get shot down.
You might
it might turn out to appeal to people.
It's a one-off.
You'll never know. And do you really want to say in the 151th year,
I should have done that.
I wish I'd said this last year, or I wish we'd done that.
Aye.
Now's the time to commit with
I've seen
ideas,
I've seen a partnered up with, obviously they've got this partnership with clubs with like historic links with Rangers. Do you think that they're looking at maybe a glamour tournament in the summer next year for the 150th then?
I think the timings are very tight, mate.
With the Champions League.
That's the real problem. I mean, I would love to see the type of teams that over the years we've had different connections with. Now that could be Arsenal, it could be Man City, it could be Chelsea, it could be Hamburg, it could be Linfield. Then I'd like to see exactly what you're saying there, is to have a game where we focus on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so many things anyway.
And also you've got the situation next year where you're going to have the 3-week break in January coming back again, so who knows?
That's all we need.
Aye.
And I'd pass up in a friendly against Linfield in Florida.
Aye, no, but see the thing is, the Rangers supporters around the world will buy into anything, I think, with the 55 or the 150th anniversary logos on it. So there's potential.
You know what? They haven't put out what they're doing with the season tickets yet. Right? But I mean, what I've said to a couple of people that are, shall we say, have got their hands into that particular conversation. I said my advice would be, the fans are ponied up this year, and there's virtually nobody asked for their money back.
Yep.
So they've made a good contribution. Next year it's 150 years. Everybody wants to be involved in that. Why not just keep the prices the same?
Same, yeah.
You know, because as I said, I think after stopping 10 in a row, winning our first championship in 10 years, there's nobody doesn't want to be involved in that.
Yeah, no.
So, why not have them going into the next season happy? Nothing to complain about. Plus the sacrifices everybody's made in the last year, taking into a bit of account as well,
Yeah.
Do you remember I phoned you up Saturday night and I was drunk and I said there was something I couldn't remember the story? I remember what it is now. Do you remember you used to be champion in this side there when we were in the trust, the Chelsea pitch owners?
Yes,
Aye, is that something that Rangers fans could look into? I know that we've got a good chairman and a good board now, but we never want to be in a position where people could infiltrate the club again and try and sell the stadium or like the past we've had. And I remember you always saying that if you had the pitch owners, it would generate money for the club, but it also means that you can't sell the stadium.
Well, there's 2 points of view in that one. One, I think it would be a decent fundraiser for the club, and also it means that people can say, well, the club will never be able to move. However, if you look at what's happened at Chelsea, because of the pressure of the land around them, and if Chelsea want to develop that ground, then the Chelsea pitch ownership thing, suddenly they're under huge pressure to do what Abramovich wants, because Chelsea are saying, we need to do this, we need to do the next thing. Are you going to be the guys that killed the club by not moving with the times? So I don't think it would be bad as a fundraiser, but when push comes to shove, if you look at how things went with somebody like Charles Green, you get somebody like Charles Green involved, and he gets that crowd moving in a certain direction, then how much of a safety valve is it really? And the other thing I would say to you is, if you get a choice between owning real shares in the club or owning a bit of the pitch, really what is the most important? Well, I would say would be shares actually in the club itself.
Yeah. No, good point. I remember it.
It's definitely an idea that I would be put through,
Because I think a lot of fans, although you're saying that, I think if at the end of the season, the 150th anniversary, the fans, I know it might sound corny, but if they actually get a wee bit of tough, and that was like their share of small, because people collect everything nowadays, and see if they think that I was a shareholder of the pitch on 150th anniversary, it's, I don't know, 30 quid or something like that. I'm just.
Well, do you not remember about 20 years ago when they dug up the pitch?
Aye, and sold it.
They actually sold it off for charity. It was quite a well organised event. They lined up your cars around the back of the Argyle house and picked up your roll of turf.
That's right, aye.
I had a wee bit at the back garden. I don't know what happened to it. I mean, one of my pals actually, in his back garden, he actually had two bits. One was like he turned into a wee golf hole. The other one, he got the Superior lights and the stands and made a wee stand at the back.
Did Tommy Rogers not try and dye it blue?
Tommy Rogers, to let people know, Tommy was main host at Annie Miller's, and he also owned the iBooks Cooperage. And people had said to him, get blue grass, get blue grass, get blue grass. So when Tommy was over in the States, because what he would do is, for the cooperage business, oak casks are very dear in Britain. So what they would do was they would buy them in America, because America, by law, bourbon has to be distilled in new casks. So they've got all these old casks that they sell off. So Tommy would go over to the States every year and they would buy thousands of these barrels for his cooperage business. So when he was over there in Kentucky, he actually bought £150 of a bluegrass seed, and he tried it in his own garden. But what he found was that the original bluegrass, our summers aren't hot enough, and our
mate.
was all cold enough, so if you try to actually put blue gas down in Ibrox, then you're going to get a very poor surface. But it has been tried.
To try it. And I remember just when you're at, just as quite a funny story. Do you remember you were telling me as well that people remember it? Remember the Boyne Celebration, the programme when you opened up at Play de Sash? Do you remember that one?
Yes.
And the wee gadget on it, Tommy, thousands of them. Is that right?
Tommy, I think it was originally for the programme, but he also produced Christmas cards.
That's right, aye.
So when you opened up the Christmas cards, it played the sash. There was a wee electronic device inside it, and when you opened it up, it pulled a wire and it played the sash for you. So Tommy, being Tommy, what he did was instead of buying say 1,000 at a time, he just said, right, I'll get 10,000 and I'll store them up in cooperage. So I went up to see him one day, and he had these things these boxes stored to floor to ceiling in the corridor leading up to his office. And as I'm walking past, obviously some of them are a wee bit full way. And you get so I went to Tommy and said, some of those things are playing in the boxes. And he says, I know, it's brilliant. He says, I've got that 24 hours a day in here.
Oh, I remember that story.
Lovely guy, Tommy, lovely guy.
That's right, aye. No, great call, Mark. Brilliant again, mate. Great call.
All the best.
Good
Thank you
speaking to
very
you,
much.
Mark.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Already.
There you go, that's Mark Dingwall, editor of Follow Fanzine.
Right, hello there, Cam Davidson. Your first time watching. Thanks
Aye.
for joining us.
That there, I know without looking, that's my mate Brian
That's
Newell.
Brian Newell, yeah. I've just seen it here.
Him and his good lady had a wee girl today at 6 o'clock, I think it was.
Yep, that's wee in here.
And I know that the report, but everything's good as far as I know.
Yes.
All the best, mate.
Right. Brad Pickin, Bluegrass of Kentucky, was your pitch before.
Aye. So that was true, Tommy trying to grow the grass blue, I remember it. He owned Andy Miller's. Andy Miller's. Animals.
Who's Andy?
That's my pal. A pal of mine for 20 years I was talking to last night. Andy Miller. Animals. He owned that and he got it at a Rangers shop and that, and then his boy took care of it and then he sold it. But aye, it's good. It's just good to go down memory lane as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing coming up here, so we'll be coming up on
Here we
that.
go. David Downey, Eck Whiteford, how you doing? Billy Johnson, Jason Dickinson, Robert Williamson, how you doing? And Elvis Brown, or Paul Boyle. It's just people saying it's my Gers subscription. It's an auto renewal.
Aye, so that's what it is. If anybody get £40, 40.
Aye, £40. It's your auto renewal for your my Gers.
It's your my Gers, so that's what it is. It's not a day your season ticket. Just let us know your opinion on this. When I mentioned it there, if Rangers were to play a pre-season friendly next season, celebrating the 150th anniversary of the club, which 4 teams, or let's say 6 teams?
6 teams.
What 6 teams? Obviously Rangers are one, so what other 5 teams would you like to see invited? Just for a bit of fun, who would you like to see invited over for it? I've got an opinion on this that most people probably wouldn't agree with, but it makes sense. I'd actually phoned Martin Saturday night with a few ideas. One of them was the idea that just came out last night, but it involved Brora Rangers and no Cove Rangers.
Right.
That Rangers should be doing something this season when we win the league. We've won it now, to recognise the 2 teams that backed us when we were on our arse.
Right.
Linfield and Brora Rangers, no Cove Rangers. But for some reason, they're about to do for Cove Rangers, whose manager's one of them, and we've got no connection with them. When Rangers were down in the dumps, the only club in Scottish football that went out their way to welcome us and try and get us that wee bit of protection was Brora Rangers. And I would love to see all the glamour teams involved. I'd like to see Linfield involved, but I'd love to see, you know what, it's no about money.
Yeah.
That wee team when they'd nothing.
Stood by
Stick them in it, stick them in it, give them a couple of pounds for coming along, give them a big day. Doesn't matter who wins these. Like the Gateshead tournament many years ago when Newcastle, Rangers get beat by Newcastle, but Rangers were the star event because of the fans, the support, and the Rangers support will always be the star turn. But post us, let us know who would you take. 5 teams you'd like to see in a all-star studied tournament for 150 years of Rangers Football Club.
Yep. Also, guys, remember we still have Stevie G cutouts and any player into any player you can ask for.
Any player. I've got
any player.
McGregor ones were going quite quickly there,
Yep.
and I got 2 Defoes are getting done.
And we've got the Buffalo.
Tomorrow night we're getting the Defoes.
Kent. Yep.
So I guess Libby Smith knows him, so Libby said to me, it's got to be the exact size. He's 5'7". Nobody else knows this stuff. But she says, "Go to be 5'7". That's what size he is.
Who is?
Look at Defoe.
Oh, is
She's
he?
asked me for a Defoe.
Oh,
She
is
went,
he?
he's 5'7".
Yeah, it's 5'7".
How
That's
do people know this stuff? But anyway,
Right, there we go. Linfield, Hamburg, Chelsea, definitely.
there's somebody. They're coming in with different
Liverpool,
ideas.
right?
Liverpool's
Rangers,
a very good
Linfield,
shout.
Brora, Rangers, Chelsea, Hamburg.
It's just I think the fans it'd be good to get all the kind of fans. Do you know what I mean? All together in Glasgow for a big long weekend. The only money's going to the Rangers
I
bars.
do agree with you about the Brora Rangers thing. Yes,
Aye.
I agree with you there.
They done their thing in it, and they didn't need it because everybody else stuck with two fingers up it, and they. And if it was nearly early in the
Turn their
morning,
back on us, aye.
I was actually thinking that if they beat Aberdeen, we could draw them in the Scottish Cup,
Mhm.
and we could do the idea with the virtual ticket and that. But all of a sudden, I woke up in the morning and people are saying date for Cove Rangers. Cove Rangers have got no connection
I
with us.
know, I know.
I don't know why you would want to date for them.
Right, there we go.
but
There's
no,
another one. Rangers, Linfield, Liverpool, Ajax, Moscow, Dynamo.
don't know who's put it on, but it's no big touch tennis anyway. He's fine yard. I know exactly what he'll be shouting, but I'm
That
not going to
was
say it.
Robert Williamson that done that.
Aye.
Rab Picking, Rangers, Linfield, Brora, Rangers, Chelsea, Hamburg.
Yep.
Paul Boyle is Linfield, Hamburg, Chelsea, definitely.
We need to get another. That's the thing this season as well. We need to get a pre-season trip for the fans. The fans, if they're allowed in the stadiums,
I
that is.
can't wait to get back to the stadium. It's just
Aye.
not the same.
Even if it's just one game, see if
I
the
know.
fans get in.
I
That'll be
know.
if they've done something that with a weekend and different fans go in the Friday or the Saturday and the Sunday, whatever, just to get back. I was thinking about it last night. See this is another thing I was going to get people to just to post on the message board, the page, things that you miss. See the amount of wee things that you miss, right?
I know, stupid things.
It's not just the big things you miss. I miss every week leaving Ibrox and just hitting the wall, hitting the roof.
That's amazing how many people do
Just
that.
doing
Can
it.
do instead.
And hitting the roof. I miss going down at half time, the government stand, and it's the same people I used to see every week and just have a wee chat with them. People you forget, you don't know their names or anything, you just
I
know
know.
them for European trips or whatever, or away games, and they're sitting and they're different parts of the ground that you meet them at. It's just, there's wee things that you miss so much, and I've got so many of them when I think back, that your match day before the game, you're gone, you're in routine. There's so many wee things, and you think, I forgot about that because I've not done it for a full year now. Let us know, what do you miss? What's the wee things that you miss? Not the big things, the wee things.
Right, Elvis Brown said he's booked for Vegas for next year, for the Rangers convention.
Aye, I'm going. I'm going to. You can't book it. Apparently, I can't remember the story. You can't actually book it now. You can only book from a company that books for you. So we're waiting until the actual bookings are allowed. I'm just going to book direct. But it'll be good to see all the. I've always wanted to go to Vegas.
I've been to Vegas, it's good, I love it.
Aye.
Right, Robert Williamson says they need a special game for Davis.
I mentioned this last year.
Yep.
I mentioned that Rangers should play
I
Linfield.
thought that
no,
should have been 2 cup.
Rangers should play Northern Ireland. I said last year when he becomes the most capped player in British history, and he's done it. He's beat Peter Shilton now.
Yep.
Peter Shilton's acknowledged it as well. I agree with you, Rab. I said that at the time. Rangers should go to Northern Ireland and play a Northern Ireland select.
Has Linfield and Belfast got a date yet, Si?
No, but I spoke to somebody that's very well connected and
Sandy
said
Row, here
that
we
it's
go.
going ahead. It's definitely going ahead. They're going to announce a date soon. He didn't tell me the date on it, but he watches the show. So, Bill, if you're watching and you know what the date is roughly, you want to post it for us, mate. But it looks as if it's going to go ahead. It's a very good chance.
Baskerberg Legends at Tinto Park on the 10th of July. Stephen McCormick.
Aye, that's a game that's taking place. That's a
Yes.
charity match.
Yes.
Aye, I thought they were suggesting that for the. I'm gonna try to
No,
keep up.
Scott White, Millwall, Linfield, Hamburg, and Chelsea.
Aye, loads and loads of big teams like that.
Yep.
It'd be great just to have a weekend to celebrate Rangers 150 because you could have a dinner and all that. You could get the boats. So like the last time that we played Chelsea, the Rangers firm basically and the Chelsea firm were on a boat together and all that. And I think the Polish loved it because they meant there was no trouble in Glasgow. Because they basically looked at us as they're on a boat away from it all. But I know, mate, loads of their guys are all good guys.
Is that the new social distancing regulations you
I've
have
not
to
took them
be
off.
a mark down
Aye.
apart?
I might take it. Aye. I'm going to take it off. Quite right. There it's gone.
Thanks, Cockles. John Kieran, boring without the Gers playing. It definitely is, John. It's not the same.
John, I watched last night. I'm just laughing at that. I seen it. It was just on the news tonight. They were telling me that Scotland's playing tomorrow. I didn't even know. I just thought I was internationals finished. I don't watch them. I watched a wee bit of Northern Ireland just because of Stephen Davis was getting that historical cap.
I don't
find
really
it a bit
watch much
boring.
football apart from Rangers.
I went last year to Northern Ireland versus Austria.
Mhm.
I did go to that, don't get me wrong, but that was more for I wanted to get to Belfast for a few days and I went to a kind of sash bash, meet up with my pals. But I went to the game, it was quite good, but in general I don't really bother.
How much are the player cutouts? If you want to message the page, guys, I'll get back
It's
to you.
different pages, different prices, no that. If you send us a PM or an email, we'll get the prices to you and get them.
If you message the page, I'll get right back to you.
We'll get them picked up. But also stickers.
Stickers, we'll get new stickers coming, guys.
Let me see if I can
like
do
the
this.
one on right here.
I'm into that right there.
Right there.
That one there, it says
That one.
55.
We've got these coming, guys, and different variations of it, but that's one of them.
And you get to put them, and we'll see when people can put them around the world for us
Yep.
again. They've done it last time, they were going
Yeah.
all sorts of places.
Aye,
That'd be great
very
to see.
good. John Tiernan, who are who? Who are they? Who are who?
I think he's talking to Scotland.
All right.
Scoring with Fountain Point. I think that's it. I just try to keep up. It's hard because a lot of the bases don't have names on it. And some
I
of them
know, I'm
do.
trying. I needed to update it off my phone. Hello, Alex McCallum. How are you doing?
I'm going to try and get the tie-in as well with Sons of
Scotland.
Scruff again. Is that same new? I think they started playing again. Or they started training, sorry, because I've seen it. Andy Gorham's doing a bit of coaching with him.
Yeah. Well, I can start with Craig Houston's video.
You start the videos
Yep.
again and that kind of stuff, promote that again for them.
Good.
Because the people like that, when they watched it, they like watching just basically young boys getting involved with football and they've got a bit of potential in them.
Aye, good. And you doing your toast tonight?
Aye. We've not got the whiskey yet. I've been off a bevy
Oh.
anyway.
Still after bevy, guys.
So I'm
Doing
on
well
the-
here.
I'm on the, you can't see it, what do you call it? Well,
Diluting
you can't even
juice.
see it, there's loads of everything in it. Diluting juice is basically, the more I tempo this, the more it'll spill. Anyway, I've got Robinson's diluting juice in here, so for a wee change, I'm known as Swally. God save the Queen.
The Queen, guys.
Doesn't taste the same, it's good when you've got milk. Proper.
Hey, hello there, Betty McKenzie. How are you doing?
I've noticed there's been loads and loads of podcasts appearing now recently.
Oh, they're appearing everywhere.
Every time I look now.
There's always a new one every week.
Scottish
There's a new one
ones.
popping up somewhere.
Scottish football ones, Scottish international ones, there's Rangers ones, there seems to be, I can't keep up, but we try and support everything that everybody's doing, guys, so if there's anything out there at all, if you can help you or support it, we'll always kind of get involved with it.
If you have a business, let us know and we can
We need a new
promote
sponsor.
your-
Aye, we need to get a new
promote your
sponsor
your
because
business on your page and your show.
we had Pie Sports, I've actually meant to email the boy again, I forgot.
Like, what do you think of Guy's suspension?
Betty
Betty McKenzie.
I think the problem with it is any real, it's not going to affect us on a massive scale. It might affect us in the Scottish Cup. However, the boys know, as Mark said earlier on, Mark Timo spoke about it, the boys knew, they'd been told time and again not to do it and they'd done it. It's not the worst that could have happened to them in 6 game suspension. Maybe that'll teach them a lesson. Sorry, 5 game suspension. No, 6 games, that's 6.
Billy Linton, I live in England and have done so for the past 22 years. To this day, I can't explain to them how big we are. I'm at a loss with them. Anyway, how many goosebumps did you have on Helicopter Sunday? Stories on that, guys.
Aye.
That is the best for me. I don't think I'm will ever forget Helicopter Sunday.
Well, 2 things about that. I was on the board at the time when we built we painted the Keep Believing banner. And we actually got abuse after Rangers supporters the week before taking it to football. People shouting at us and all that kind of thing because they thought it was kind of mocking it. We were never going to do it. Just a few guys, no many. And a lot of people thought there was no chance it could happen. That was 2 weeks before it. I remember that. Rangers played an under-17s tournament in Amsterdam and 5 years went to it for 5 days, 6 days. And I took a bottle of champagne with me because I thought we were going to win it that week. Rangers didn't play, but Celtic played Hearts, and Hearts had to win, I'm sure. And Celtic got a penalty in the last 5 minutes. It was never a penalty, and that kept him in it. That would have brought it back to us. So anyway, if I remember rightly, I brought the champagne back from Amsterdam, didn't drink it, and all the boys were laughing at us.
You didn't drink it?
No, I took it to Easter Road and I put it in the motor, and everybody's like, the different boys I was with at this point, we Joe for Chilson, was saying to me, don't take the champagne, we're no chance of winning this year, don't jinx it with taking the champagne. So I took it. I took it, and at the end of the game, the flags were getting passed down, and the Keep Believing banner came down, and it was great to see it again, the Keep Believing, and no one had the champagne. After the match, if any Rangers fans remember this, the fans couldn't go to the motorway after the game at Tynecastle, and we had to go through the long road back to Glasgow to Edinburgh, and we passed, wasn't it Murrayfield, I don't think, we passed a stadium that there was 2 massive English rugby teams were playing, and one of them had played in red, white, and blue, and they were giving out flags for nothing. So all the players were all leaving out the waters with all these. Some team for England had won this cup for rugby, and with hundreds and hundreds of flags out the waters were extras. So that was a way of celebrating as we went back to Glasgow. That's my memories, yeah. It's fantastic.
Robbie Fowler's with Gerard is good.
Aye, Robbie Fowler does a podcast with.
Alright.
Aye.
I was that there, what?
I've not seen it, but I've heard it's good.
Hi, Si, glad you're coming to Blackpool with Arthur Newman Loyal RSC in June.
Aye, all booked up and all ready to go. Unfortunately, they put me in with big Boffy. The Boffy snows louder than I do. I'm supposed to be the loudest snow.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm in with big Boffy, who, as anybody knows, after about 4 or 5 bottles of whiskey, it's a tap off and it's uncontrollable.
I love how they blame you and Mike and the canny.
What's that?
It's not his mic, guys. I can't even blame him because I know he's not got a mic on.
Must
So
have just been a connection there because we're not moved.
I've no moved and I'd love to blame him, but it's no him.
Right, somebody tell me about Vegas. You said this is the first time, I don't know who wrote
Right,
that. Who wrote that?
lads, Brad Pickin.
Because I've never been.
Lads, Vegas, complete rip-off. I was over there for
The Fury.
the Fury
Wilder.
Wilder fight. Stayed in the Paris Hotel. Try avoid the casinos for drink. Look for the normal bars at the side streets. Great deals there. But in the casinos, 2 vodkas. I agree with you there, right? What happens is if you're playing the machines, what you do is you take your time playing the machines because the hostess will come in and give you a drink free.
Aye.
But you've got to be playing the machines
See, my
to
pal,
get your drink free.
my pal told me, right, I'm not going to name who he is, well known guy, he's got a lot of money, said to me, that there's a way you can go to Las Vegas and not buy any drink,
Yes,
but just gambling.
that's right.
And there's a way you can gamble if it loses money, but you
Uh-huh.
don't make a lot of money. But
That's
it's
right. But you're just sitting there and you're pacing it out
Aye.
with your penny machines.
so I'm not telling
That's
too
it.
many people, because I don't want about like 5,000-10,000 Rangers fans all copying me, right? But I'm going,
That's what you do,
I'm going
guys.
for the free swally.
Ah.
We've gone to the thing hotel, what's it called, what's the famous one there? Two away for the convention.
Yes, the big gold, the big.
Aye, Sriracha Caesar's Palace.
I know what you're
Sriracha
talking- aye.
sang it, I'm sure, and Elvis sang it as well.
Is
So
it a
anyway,
big water fountain
aye,
thing?
Caesar's Palace.
Aye, it's no Caesar's Palace.
That's the one I'm going.
Alright,
Aye,
okay.
that's the one I'm going. 2 doors away, two hotels away for the official venue. Aye. Who's that?
I'll send you videos of my room again. Can you put it up in the show?
Aye, who is it?
Joel Jackson. I think it's on the feed already, Joel.
Aye, Joe, I'll just send them again. We'll put it on the page for you again, mate. No problem. He's fair. Like,
Buffalo Snoring.
Mama Vaddy, I believe.
Yes.
The Buffalo Snoring Room. Aye, who's that?
Ian Sinclair.
There's got to be some. There's a lot of people in the bus I know going. I can't wait. It's good to see Blackpool's opening up. Everywhere's opening up today. The support can go and properly enjoy the 55.
I'm just dying for things to go back to normal.
That is, it's going to take a while still, but we're getting there.
The Venetian Hotel, that's it, that's the one I was talking about.
Well, I'm not going to that. That's not the one I was talking about. I was talking about the Caesar Palace. Hold on a minute, there's 2 that make me go to that, might be the other one, because we get told if there's no that, it'll be the second. It's the 2 best ones, apparently.
Venetian, supposed to.
Could be.
That has the big waterfall, it's Celine Dion that sings and it sort of
Right,
goes in time with the music.
But everybody saying to me there is ways of getting cheap behaviour and that.
There's
And
also New York, there's a roller coaster at the top of the hotel.
so good they need it twice.
Aye.
Can't wait anyway, as I've said, you need an excuse to go to Vegas, I think. Don't just go.
Aye, but the thing is, you take your time at the penny machines and they feed you with drinks sitting there, and you just keep knocked. That's what we done.
There's a bad day, it's like 14 months away and you're planning how you can get a free vodka.
And I'm telling you, well, this is what you do.
But I'll carry out the bag and all that with you.
We actually done that too. We went out to there was a petrol station near our hotel, and we went out and bought our drink there and put it in the brown bags.
Aye.
So we walked through the casino with these brown bag carry out bags. The Venetian goods, the gondola through it, but it's a rip off of Caesar's Palace. And
Somebody was
Angus
telling me as well.
Mackay, enjoying the show, guys. Hello, Angus Mackay.
Aye, see, that's 150th anniversary of Rangers next year, and it's they're in Vegas, so I think that'll be really popular. With the last 2 conventions that have all been cancelled, and the Australian 2 of them I think's cancelled because of it. If you look back, they worked. So how many people are going to look for a holiday? That's one a unique holiday.
Did you like Vegas, Rob, when you were there? Did you like it?
I think you say that you've got to watch what you're doing with your money and all that.
Yeah.
But it's one.
We went to a Stone Roses concert in Vegas,
Aye.
and we were still in the queue to get in, and this big black guy comes up and opens his coat, see like you see on the telly, he opened it and he's got all the watches.
Aye.
This guy had all these drugs all lined up in his coat. You want to buy any of these?
I'm feeling to say it sounds good now. But I think Las Vegas red, white and blue for the 150th anniversary of Rangers, it'll be amazing. But Sydney sounds good as well, so we'll find